Let's keep talking about the Wentworth by-election. We're joined in the studio by Paul Fletcher, Minister for Families and Social Services, and also by Labor Senator for New South Wales, Deborah O'Neill. Thanks both of you for coming in. Paul Fletcher, I might start with you. We had the Prime Minister out yesterday conceding that Wentworth could be lost for the government. Under Malcolm Turnbull, there was a margin of over 17%. That would be a major loss for the government if they lost Wentworth. What message does that send to the government if that seat is lost?
Well, as the Prime Minister has said, it's very close, and if the voters of Wentworth want to preserve stability, want to head off a hung parliament, then the choice today is clear, a vote for Dave Sharma. Dave's an outstanding Australian. He's represented our nation as ambassador to Israel. He's served our nation and now ready to serve our nation in another capacity, and will do a terrific job. But if Dave is not elected today, then we face a hung parliament, and that puts at risk stability and the economic growth that we've been delivering. Just this week, unemployment down to 5%, tax cuts through the parliament. All of that leadership to keep our economy strong, to keep Australians safe, is at risk if Dave Sharma is not successful today. So a very important choice for the people of Wentworth, the voters of Wentworth, a choice for stability, or alternatively a vote for Kerryn Phelps is a vote for a hung parliament.
Deb, if Tim Murray, who we've just heard from, if he does not get across the line himself, would a win by Kerryn Phelps be a win for the Labor Party?
Look, I just am having trouble keeping myself together here as we've had the Minister talking about stable government in Canberra. The threat that we have is the continuance of the Morrison government, and sending another Liberal bloke to Canberra to the Morrison Muppet Show that we've seen this week isn't going to provide any stability, and the Liberal Party know that. And the reality is we should not be talking about this by-election in Wentworth today. This is a safe seat. 17% margin, been held since 1944, shouldn't even be a conversation. This should be a Liberal win, hands down. So, you know, that's the real focus of what's going on here. We do have a fantastic candidate. You've just interviewed him. You can see he's a genuinely good bloke. He's brought his family back after a very successful business career. He brings a lot of talent to the parliament. He's raising his 3 children in the seat, one of the only 3 major candidates who are really putting themselves forward to come to Canberra, who's connected into the community, can vote in the election, and I think that he's been a fantastic advocate. He's run a very ethical campaign, hard-working, and I think he'd bring those talents to the parliament for sure.
But if he doesn't win, would you be happy to see Kerryn Phelps get across the line?
Well, at this point of time, you'd have to say anybody but another Liberal bloke in Canberra. I mean, the chaos that we see down there. We've been talking about this government being out of touch for a very long time, right? What we see now is a government that's completely out of control. So the vote in the Senate this week around a white supremacist slogan that the government tried to say, oh, look, it was just a little mistake, a little error. The reality is people were tweeting about that, and it's starting to reveal this terrible underbelly in the Liberal Party, which is why the values don't fit with the people in Wentworth, and I think we'll see a big backlash today.
We will be getting to that Senate vote a little later in the discussion, but let's stick with Wentworth for now. This is really the first electoral test for Scott Morrison as Prime Minister. If the Liberals lose Wentworth, that's directly a poor look for Scott Morrison, is it not, Paul Fletcher?
Look, I think the big issue is what it means for the country, because we've been delivering strong, stable economic management. Just recently, the deficit now down to $10 billion, and we're on track to getting back to balance by 2019-20. When we came to government, deficits of $50 billion we inherited from the chaotic Rudd-Gillard-Rudd Labor government. So we're getting on with delivering strong, secure government. What is very important today is that the people of Wentworth vote for Dave Sharma to preserve that stability. The alternative is a hung parliament if Dave Sharma is not successful today, and that is bad news for the nation. It's bad news for strong, stable government. The Morrison government, our Liberal National government, is delivering strong, stable government, strong economic management, keeping our borders strong, bringing Australians together. Those are our priorities. We've got a lot to do, and we need a majority government is key to being able to deliver that.
Scott Morrison's floating the idea of moving the Australian Embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Has that damaged your cause in Wentworth?
Not at all. What the Prime Minister has talked about is the notion of the Australian Embassy potentially being located in West Jerusalem. Of course, that's a suggestion that's been made indeed by our former Australian Ambassador to Israel, Dave Sharma. Now, Dave has deep expertise in this area. The Prime Minister has indicated an openness of the government to consider this in the context of our strong continuing support for a two-state solution for Middle East peace. We're very consistent on that. We've been strong supporters of a two-state solution. That hasn't changed. But what the Prime Minister has indicated is an openness to considering the Australian Embassy potentially being located in West Jerusalem, and that's based upon input from a number of expert sources, including Australia's former Ambassador to Israel, Dave Sharma, the Liberal candidate for Wentworth.
Deb O'Neill, would Labor be open to moving the Australian Embassy to Jerusalem?
I'm still gobsmacked by the word lottery that we're playing here. I mean, the Minister has stated strong and stable over and over and over again. What we saw on the issue in Jerusalem this week was a government that is certainly not strong. It's weakened from within. It's certainly not stable, having overturned on the Tuesday before a by-election 70 years of bipartisan policy around the State of Israel and the location of the embassy. That is not stability. And we've seen this unstable, illegitimate government cause chaos in our region. We've had immediate reaction from Indonesia, our very significant trading partner with whom we're about to sign a significant trade agreement. All of that be thrown into disarray by a government that's just completely and totally focused on itself.
So are you saying a Labor government would not be considering
We remain
that?
committed to Australia's long-standing policy, and it's been a disgrace to watch this government play politics with such a significant international issue and walk away from a bipartisan position this week in the context of a by-election. It's shameful behaviour by this government.
Paul Fletcher, on that issue with Indonesia, has this idea undermine the relationship with Indonesia?
No, not at all. I mean, we have a multifaceted, very rich relationship, very diverse relationship with Indonesia, an extremely important partner.
But they've indicated they would be perhaps upset if this were to occur?
Well, I just want to make it clear in terms of the free trade agreement with Indonesia, we're very much on track in relation to that. That's been confirmed by the Indonesian Trade Minister. The real danger to a free trade agreement with Indonesia is frankly Labor's inconsistent attitudes towards free trade. And we've seen clear evidence that the CFMMEU and other major unions are strongly resistant to free trade, and that is putting real pressure on whether Labor will support continuing free trade agreements. We know that the Shorten Labor opposition dances to the tune of their union masters, and frankly, if they come to government, a Shorten government would be led by the unions to a greater extent than we've seen for a very long time, and that is concerning on a number of fronts, including the question of their commitment to free trade. This government, the Liberal National Government, has delivered free trade agreements with China, with Korea, with Japan. We've secured the TPP-11 agreement, and we're working hard on a free trade agreement with Indonesia. The signs are good there. The biggest threat to a free trade agreement with Indonesia or anybody else is Labor's deeply ambivalent attitude towards free trade.
Well, Senator O'Neill mentioned earlier about what happened. Okay, just quickly a response to that. And then we'll
Labor has always supported free trade. The thing is, we don't think you should trade off the benefits of a great economy for the workers of this great nation. You know, small businesses and workers need to benefit from anything that we do in free trade, and Labor will always make sure we look after all Australians, not the top end of town as we're seeing from this government.
All right, we need to briefly get on to what happened in the Senate this week. We saw coalition senators vote in favour of a motion from Pauline Hanson, "It's okay to be white." The Morrison government essentially said that was an administrative error. Was that essentially saying that coalition senators aren't sure about what they're voting for in the Senate?
Look, this has been pretty comprehensively addressed by the Prime Minister and by Matthias Cormann as leader of the Liberal National Coalition in the Senate. It's been made clear this was an administrative error.
But what does that mean?
Well, what it means, as Minister Cormann said, is that there are processes to deal with the large number of motions that go through the Senate every day. In this case, there was an administrative error. I want to make it very clear. Our Liberal National Government condemns racism. It was an error, an administrative error, to support the motion in that form, and of course the motion was recommitted and we voted against it.
And Deb, you witnessed this firsthand. What was your interpretation?
I was in the chamber and they were pretty clear about what they were doing. They sat there, they voted for it, and the next day after they realised the terrible political ramifications, they tried to reassign the rationale for what they did. We know that people in the Liberal National Party, in the midst of the chaos, all the other sorts of chaos that were going on around Canberra, found time to tweet out support for this racist slur, this very significant phrase of white supremacists. That is the reality of the people who are there representing the Liberal National Party government at the moment. And, you know, to add to the chaos, we awoke on Thursday to the National Party's push for leadership again by Barnaby Joyce. This is not a stable government. There is no stability in Canberra under Mr Morrison. Sending Dave Sharma won't make it any more stable. It's already the Muppet Show as
Senator
it's been
O'Neill
described.
keeps coming back to process issues in the Senate, which of course are fascinating for senators. But what matters for the Australian people is strong economic management. The fact that the unemployment rate has come down to 5% this week
Let's
is
talk youth unemployment if we're going to talk unemployment, because there are a lot of people in insecure employment who cannot get a job on your
million
watch.
jobs since we came to government in 2013. Over 100,000 jobs for young Australians.
11.6% unemployment for youth.
And so the focus of this government is strong economic management, delivering outcomes for Australians. We've got a consistent record of doing that. I think that's much more important than the niceties of motions in the Senate.
Although,
of course, no doubt, Senator O'Neill thinks it's important.
Yeah.
We are out of time. Deb O'Neill, Paul Fletcher, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.